Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ask the Pastors, an opportunity for Pastor Todd and I to again lean into our people and answer some questions that we get regularly. And so, Pastor Todd, we got a really interesting question that was texted in this week that I don't have a whole lot of experience with, and so I'm just excited to kind of ask you this, and then we can have a good debate.
Well, I don't either, so
conversation
we'll throw it on the
about
table.
this. Yeah, and so viewers, I think this is interesting. So just listen to the question, and we'll kind of discuss what our thoughts are. So, someone asked the story about Lot and Lot's wife after they leave Sodom and Gomorrah. So there's a question we all know the story about how Lot's wife looks back and she turns into a pillar of salt. I guess there's some theories or some conversations happening in the Christian world about, did she just look back or did she go back? Because the penalty seems very severe, doesn't it? So it seems like maybe there's open interpretation on, did she just give a quick little glance and God struck her dead, or did she go back? And so I don't know if you've wrestled with this idea, if you've heard much about this conversation, but I'd love to hear your kind of thoughts on it.
So I did receive a couple of podcasts where this was discussed. I don't know to what extent. It is somewhat of a new, at least from our perspective, I think you're right. It's kind of a new thought that she went back.
Yeah.
I would just do what we do here normally. We'll just take the text for what it says.
Amen.
The angel's command in verse 19 was, don't look back or linger in the valley.
There's the command. There's the law.
Verse 26 says that she looked back. So the word there means to gaze.
Okay.
So perhaps the misunderstanding is how we interpret look back. I don't think, she's trying to get out of the city and she just kind of takes a glance with her shoulder and
that's it.
you broke the rule.
Right.
I think there probably was this pause in which her heart was evident, like, I don't want to leave Sodom. She pauses, stops, she looks back. And so her heart was evident that she really wanted that.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is we don't really know anything about Lot's wife. Was she one of the women that Abraham rescued in Genesis 14? She has no name in the scriptures.
We don't even know her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that she has become like this edifice of disobedience, hasn't she?
Yep, absolutely.
Like, don't play with sin because look what could happen. And I think that's probably kind of healthy for us. When God gives us a command, I would take it for what it says and do it.
Yep.
And so she disobeyed what God said through the angel.
Yep. By action and probably by desire or by her heart. And an all-knowing God would know her actions and her motives.
In her heart.
Yeah.
And so he was just to keep his word.
Amen.
I don't think, to be most technical, I don't think she went back.
She went back, because we're not told that.
We're not told that first. And second of all, if she did look back and linger for a moment in the valley and turn to pillar of salt, she can't go back as a pillar of salt.
Right.
She was right there in that place.
In that place where you would have been able to see it.
Yeah.
That mound of salt. You would have been able to see the location of where she died.
So I don't think she went back.
Yeah.
But are they saying maybe her heart wanted to go
Yeah,
back?
yeah.
If that's what they're saying, I could concur with
Open
that.
to that, yeah.
But the text just says she looked back. It was disobedient to the angel's command. And boom, pillar of salt.
So just before we wrap this up today, maybe there's some things that we could apply or learn from Lot's response and Lot's wife's response to this situation. They're similar, or they're different responses to this situation.
Because the story's intriguing. Lot, you ask yourself sometimes, why was Lot a last-minute leaver?
Yep.
Like, it took Abraham to go snatch him.
Yep, rescue him. That's right.
And you ask yourself, why did Lot want to be near Sodom and then in Sodom? And let's say that, Lot's wife was someone from that area.
Yep.
He married someone who was like that.
Yeah.
And, Peter says this, that Lot vexed his soul day after day by being near those people.
Yep.
And I think what he's meaning, there's a couple of views, but my view is it was always a torment to him. So he had this constant pull, and he was giving in often.
Yeah.
So you wonder, how that affected his wife.
Right.
Like, maybe she was much more into it than he was, and I think he would bear some responsibility there. Like, he should have left earlier.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I grew up hearing, Lot was the moral one and Lot's wife was the immoral one, and he was the holy righteous one and she was this terrible sinner. Is that the narrative that we're told about Lot and Lot's wife?
Well, that's I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I hate to give a
Yeah, yeah.
concrete answer when the Bible doesn't say, but I do know this. It seemed like Lot barely escaped.
Yep.
Why is that?
Exactly right.
And so, his wife probably was there because he was there.
That's right. Yep.
So I don't know what that says to us except that.
And the many consequences from his decision to go to Sodom and Gomorrah
And then to stay there.
Oh man, that story is devastating.
I think one thing we need to take away is, this can be misused, this statement, but I would just stay as far away from sin as you can.
Amen.
And Romans says this, do not make provision for the flesh.
Yep.
It's an interesting word. The word provision means like a base of operation. And so when you give sin an inch, what you're doing is you're allowing sin to have a little space, and what it's going to do is set up a base of operation, and it's going to expand.
Yeah.
Now, that's what Lot did.
That's right.
He just gave in a little bit, and look what happened. His wife paid the price, probably for some of his decisions,
Yep.
even though she owned hers by looking back.
Yep.
You wonder how all that played together? I mean, I just want to encourage our listeners, our church family, man, let's just run from sin.
Amen. Absolutely. Well, it was a great question. Thanks so much for texting in. And church, please send us some more. We'd love to continue to wrestle with these. Todd, any last words?
Not a one.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for joining us for this episode of Ask the Pastors. Join us next time.